Bleeding purple and gold. From the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LakersNation.com podcast with your host, Trevor Lane.
Welcome to today's show. As always, we are powered by CLNS Media and LakersNation.com. Today's show is brought to you by BiPro, which offers lean, clean protein. Well, everybody, we've got a great guest today. We have Los Angeles Lakers power forward Larry Nance Jr. Larry, thanks for coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
So, Larry, the Lakers are coming off of a phenomenal win over the Detroit Pistons. They're now sitting at 3-4 on the season. Coming off of this dominant performance, what's the mindset of the team right now?
Everybody's hungry for more. Last game we were clicking kind of on all cylinders, and I know, speaking for myself and for most of these guys, actually, that win felt great. So, we're just hungry for more.
Now, speaking of your own performance, you moved into the starting lineup this season, and it's been a pretty good move for you so far statistically. Is it a different feel starting compared to coming off the bench? This is the first real prolonged stretch that you have had as a starter, and especially the first stretch starting the season in the starting lineup.
It's been a little bit different. In terms of just preparation, most of the time I've kind of been preparing against second unit guys, getting ready for what other teams' benches have to offer. But, it's been a fun challenge. I've been loving it.
I was talking to your coach, Luke Walton, the other day before the game in Phoenix, and he mentioned that one of the things that he really loves about having you in the starting lineup is that, I'm paraphrasing here, but that you still play as though you're a bench player. Like you're focusing on all the little things that a guy coming in off the bench has to focus on, and just making sure that you get all of the little things right, and that adds up to a lot at the end of the day. Is that something that you're conscious of when you're out there on the floor? Are you trying to make sure that you're that guy that's hitting all the right spots, or are you even thinking when you're out there you just playing?
That's just something that, whether starting or coming off the bench, that should just has always been that way with me. The little things are what wins the game. Diving on the floor, creating extra possessions for your team. Getting a hand in the passing lane, causing deflections. Those are all, they may seem small, but you add them up at the end of the game, and that's how you win.
Exactly. It's all those things that are going to come together and create victories, and we saw all of that happen against the Detroit Pistons. It seemed like every play somebody was making something good happen out there on the floor, so hopefully that's something that's going to continue here. Now, speaking of the starting five, let's talk about this for a second, because you have in your starting five, you've got a lot of new players who weren't with the team last year. Of course, you've got Lonzo Ball and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Yourself, you weren't a starter for most of last season. And then you've got Brook Lopez. Has it been a bit of a learning curve trying to get all five of you on the same page now?
It has. Anytime you ask guys to play with and learn new plays and new different guys, learn how different guys play, it definitely there's a learning curve. It takes time to figure out everybody's tendencies and stuff like that. So, there's definitely a learning period, and I'm sure there will still be a learning period, but we're definitely starting to hammer out some of the kinks.
Has it been an adjustment in particular playing with a guy like Lonzo out there, being that he's different than many of the point guards that you've played with in the past?
Definitely. It gives you that a little bit added incentive to start to run the court, and I've always having him in the game and, being able to see kind of like the lob threat opportunities we have it's been fun. He's been great for my game and great for our team as a whole.
Yeah, it seems like he really picked things up in that last game and got things going, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Now, I've noticed quite a bit of improvement in your own game. Have you been working on anything in particular in the off season, or something you've been trying to work on that's really made a difference in your game this season, or is it just kind of all around improvement, or what do you see out there?
this summer was mainly about my body. Just getting myself in the best shape possible, just being able, being one of the strongest guys on the court, and being the best, being the best guy, most in shape there is on the court. And I definitely pride myself on that. So, I feel that's going really well thus far. I haven't been getting pushed around. I've held my own, and I've been doing a little bit of pushing myself.
Yeah, and we were treated to a few different videos of your workouts over the summer, and we saw a lot of you running out in the sand and things like that. And we know you've added BiPro as part of your workout routine. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe what difference that's made?
Definitely. With our new strength coach Gunnar Peterson coming in, I was excited to see what all the fuss was about. He had a big name, and everybody seemed to know who he was. And so I wanted to take advantage of his expertise and his knowledge. So I spent a ton of time in the weight room this summer with him, whether it be at his weight room up in Beverly Hills or down at our practice facility weight room, but just spent a lot of time dropping body fat, turning that weight into muscle, and really just becoming a well-oiled machine.
Well, it's certainly showing out there on the floor, almost across the board. Statistically, you have improved from last season by leaps and bounds. You're taking more shots this year than you have in any season previously. You are grabbing more rebounds, getting steals, blocking shots. It seems like you're doing a little bit of everything out there. And so we can definitely notice that growth that you've had over the season. In fact, that you won the starting job. I mean, in the past, you've said many, many times that winning that starting job wasn't necessarily a major goal of yours. You didn't worry too much about who was starting and who wasn't. But do you still see it as an accomplishment to be a starter at this point?
It's definitely cool. It's very cool to go, hey, I'm starting for the Los Angeles Lakers. But, at the end of the day, it's all about, it doesn't matter. I would rather play my role on a winning team than be a superstar on a losing team. So if it comes down to it, I love starting, but at the end of the day, whatever helps us win. So it's kind of an accomplishment, but at the same time, I'm just happy the team's gotten off to a pretty solid start.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. The team has gotten off to a good start. I mean, 3-4 is not bad, and the wins that they've had have been pretty impressive. And at the losses, a few of them have been really, really close, where a few plays go a little bit differently, and you're picking up wins. How do you see this season playing out from here? What's your prediction for the rest of the season for this team?
I think we can be pretty good. I mean, last game, we played great. I don't know if there were too many teams that could have beat us with the way we played last game. So if we can start stringing games like that together more frequently, we're going to be a problem for not just some teams, but all of them.
And in particular, if you're able to get the bench and the starters both really clicking, it seems like that makes you guys a really, really difficult team to deal with. So that's something that we're going to be looking for. Julius Randle is now playing really, really well as more of a backup center, which it seemed like, at least from an outsider's perspective, it seemed like he wasn't too pleased with being demoted to the bench, at least based on his body language and everything. Is that the case? Was he a little disappointed to lose his starting job? And where do you see him at this stage?
I don't know. That's for me to answer that would be kind of tough. I definitely didn't have any conversations with him about that. But
sure.
He's been playing awesome. Having four super capable, bigs. I mean, more than that with Bogut and Zoo has been, that's kind of a coach's dream. That's awesome. So, we hit him with with one lineup, and then the next lineup comes in and brings the same or matches our production and energy. So, I think it's been great. But Julius has been just a monster on both ends of the court this year. So I'm thrilled with how he's been playing. I know everybody is.
Yeah, he's been playing really, really good basketball, and it's been really impressive the way you guys have been playing defense. And that's yourself, that's Julius, that's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, everybody as a team. The defense has just looked so much better this year. I mean, last year, the Lakers were actually the 30th ranked team, last in the league in defensive rating, and right now, you guys are sitting at 9th. Can you speak to what has made that jump for you guys? I know it's early in the season, but that is a huge improvement over last year.
That's awesome. Like hearing you say that, I'm sitting here in my, hotel room kind of smiling at that, because that's super impressive. We knew we were wanted to hang our hat on that, on the defensive end, but, to that extent, that drastically, pretty quickly is awesome. We have guys buying in and guys really playing hard and trying hard on that end of the court, which is just awesome, leaps and bounds better than last year.
Absolutely. It's really noticeable out on the floor how much you guys are really in sync, and the way people are switching for each other on pick and roll. You guys are switching all over the place and flying all over the floor. And it's a very, very noticeable difference. Now, unfortunately, it's not all good, because the offensive rating has slipped. You guys are down to about 28th, 27th in the league, but we have seen flashes of some good things. What is it you guys are hoping to accomplish on the offensive end as the season moves on? Because we know Lucas said you guys didn't focus too much on the offensive end during training camp. You instead put most of your attention on defense.
We really just want to keep being just be unselfish. That's, for me at least, that's probably the biggest must. We just have to keep sharing the ball and trusting each other on the offensive end. I think the more we can do that, the better we're going to be as a whole.
Yeah, and certainly Lonzo. Go ahead.
But like you said, playing with different guys, the offense will come around. We're just still learning guys' tendencies.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that takes a little bit of time, and of course we can expect to see improvements there as the season goes on. Well, Larry, let's switch it up a little bit here. One thing that I've been wondering about, as far as yourself goes, is the All-Star game is going to be in Los Angeles this year. And I'm guessing you probably know where I'm going with this. The rumor has been for a while that you might consider joining the dunk contest. Where's your head at in regards to possibly dunking in this year's All-Star Weekend dunk contest?
It's something that I've wanted to do, since I got in the league, but just minor bumps in the road, injuries have kind of prevented me from doing that. But obviously this season, barring any of that, knock on wood, I see myself in it.
So you're saying if you got the invite, you're in?
I'm not going to guarantee it, but I would. I would definitely. It would be really tough for me to say no.
All right. Well, yeah. Hopefully that happens, because I know Lakers fans would be dying to see you dunk in the dunk contest, especially being in Los Angeles. That would be phenomenal. So another thing that's coming up here is, in just a couple of days, you guys are taking on the Brooklyn Nets and D'Angelo Russell. And of course, D'Angelo Russell came into the league with you, same draft class and everything. Is it going to be a little weird going against him on the opposing team?
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be so much fun. Me and him, like you said, we came in together. And doing something like that, you just kind of build a bit of a bond, being in the same draft class and all that. And plus he's a great guy. So, I can't wait. I know he can't wait. So, I think it's going to be a really fun showdown for everybody to watch.
Have you been following kind of what he's been doing over there in Brooklyn? Have you been able to check in on kind of what he's been up to?
Oh yeah. No, I check in every box score.
He's putting up some pretty impressive numbers over there.
Oh, duh. We knew he can score and that. So I'm as long as he's not playing us, I've said before, I really hope he can lead the score. He can lead the league in scoring for all for what I'm concerned with. I want him to do great as long as it's not against us.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing him play, and I think fans are kind of in the same boat. They're hoping that he doesn't have too much ice water in his veins in that game against the Lakers. So it's gonna be a fun one, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, you mentioned earlier that you've got a number of bigs on this team that are very, very capable, and Ivica Zubac is one of them. And I know that you guys are buddies, and you kind of took him under your wing, and he hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time this season. We saw him struggle a bit in Summer League. He worked out a ton, got his body fat percentage down super low, and now he's kind of stuck behind Brook Lopez and Andrew Bogut. What are you telling him at this point to try to keep him focused mentally and ready to play it? Because you got to imagine he's got to be a little disappointed after playing such a large role last season.
Yeah, a little bit. That's to be expected, though. He had really major games for us last year, and so anytime that happens, it's frustrating. It'd be frustrating for anybody, but. I just kind of keep telling him, stay ready. His time is coming, and when it does, just make sure to take advantage of it.
Yeah, there's going to be some opportunities at some point. It's a long season and everything, but still, it was a bit surprising to see that he wasn't part of the rotation. And he's a guy that I get asked about all the time. When is Ivica Zubac going to get minutes? And I would think it's got to be coming at some point, but he's just going to have to do what he can to stay ready until then. So as far as your game goes, and this season is moving on, and we're getting into the point where you can really get into a rhythm, what is it that you're looking to do to take your game to that next level? Because we've seen you improve throughout the few seasons that you've been in Los Angeles. So what's the next step for you?
One thing that I've always been hanging my hat on is defense, but I really want to take that next step and become, in the first team all defense, talks. I think I absolutely have the ability to do so. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of effort. And, I think I have the ability to do so. So that's what I would love to see, so I'm working on, I'm checking on, after every game, checking to see like leaderboards and steals and blocks and stuff like that to kind of see where I stack up, and obviously taking every guy I match up against really seriously, because that's what that type of player does. But I really I would love to start being in the defensive team discussions.
Well, that's certainly a awesome goal, and something that does seem reachable for you, especially because the NBA is moving towards this very versatile league where players need to be able to step out and guard on the perimeter and in the paint, and that kind of seems like it's what your skill set is. You do a good job of stepping out and defending guys, even when you have to switch onto guards. And I think that's one of the things that's made this team's defense so successful this season is how many players you have that ability to guard just about anybody out on the floor. Is that something that you've noticed as well with guys like Randle and Kyle Kuzma and all these kind of Ingram, of course, these long defenders that can switch on to just about anybody?
That's absolutely what's been helping us this year. The way that second unit has been moving and switching and covering each other's back it's been awesome. It's something that's been super fun to watch, and Julius has been outstanding with it. Kuz is great with it as well, and guys that are versatile like that, me, BI, KCP, even Lonzo's tall, so, the more and more practice we get doing that, and the better we get, it's going to be really tough for teams to deal with.
Yeah, it's something where it's definitely part of the modern game, and hopefully that's something that'll continue to grow with you guys because it's been a joy to watch this season. Now, one last question before I let you get out of here, Larry. Last time you were on the show, we chatted a little bit about you working on your 3-point shot. We know it was something that you worked on a bit over the summer. We haven't really seen that yet this season all that much. Is that something that you're still planning on incorporating into your game, or is that going to be more maybe something down the road?
It's I put in a whole lot of work on it this summer. It's definitely something that I have. But right now I'm especially with Brooke on the team and Brooke in the lineup, I'm called upon to roll, and so that's if that's what the coaches are asking me to do, if that's what the team kind of needs me to do right now, roll and finish at the rim, great. I'll do it. And so the more and more games go on, I'm sure I'll get more opportunities, but I'm just not too concerned about it. We have, Kuz is a heck of a shooter as a big, Brooks a heck of a shooter as a big, and so, the opportunity will come around. And I know when it does, I've put in more than enough work on it to be ready. So, I'm just not too concerned about it yet.
That certainly speaks to your versatility as a player, that you're able to recognize, and your coaching staff recognizes that you have other bigs on the floor who can step out and shoot. And it's not a requirement that you do that, but yet you can if need be. But you seem like you can kind of fit into just about any kind of a lineup, and that's certainly a credit to your own abilities as a player.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, and I definitely I take pride in being able to fit in and play with different types of players. So I like I said, I appreciate you saying that.
Well, Larry, certainly appreciate you coming on. And I guess before you go, I got to say congratulations on the engagement. I can't believe I almost forgot to mention that.
Thank you. Me and my fiance are thrilled.
Does it feel weird saying fiance? Are you still at that point?
It feels so weird. Like I still catch myself saying girlfriend, like, oh, my girlfriend, no, fiance, and she'll correct me too, and it feels weird, but it was only a matter of time, so we're both extremely happy.
Well, exciting times, man. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks for giving us the time here on the show, and best of luck as the season continues on. We'll have to have you on again to chat about where the Lakers are at and kind of how your season is going.
For sure. Sounds good, man.
All right. Thanks a lot. So that was Los Angeles Lakers forward Larry Nance Jr. Always a great conversation with him. Certainly appreciate him coming on the show. Don't forget to go check out BiPro. They have some amazing protein shakes. I use them myself. I've turned my friends onto them. They are absolutely wonderful because they taste good, which isn't easy to find in a protein shake. And it's just lean, clean protein. So go check it out. BiProUSA.com. That's BiProUSA.com. Thanks everybody for listening. My name is Trevor Lane. You can find me on Twitter at Trevor_Lane. Don't forget to go to iTunes, rate, review, and subscribe to this show. And if you want to get a question answered on the show, just leave it in the review section. I'll make sure that I bring it up on our next episode. Speaking of our next episode, that's going to be on Monday. I've got a very special guest coming on, and we're actually going to be talking about technology and sports and how the two blend together. We figure with the iPhone 10 coming out and the whole world buzzing over all that stuff, we would talk a little bit about technology and sports. So it's going to be a really fun show that'll be coming out on Monday with our very, very special guest. You'll have to tune in on Monday to see who it is. Now, that's it for today. As always, go check out LakersNation.com, your one-stop shop for all things Lakers. Thanks, everybody, for listening. See ya.